Yep. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm paranoid again. I can't sleep because I just keep thinking about fucking life suppression and how everyone's fucking, I'm reminding myself of times in my head where I'm just constantly fucking bullied and oppressed and fucking judged and all that shit. And it's just like, damn, I can't fucking get out of this. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you fight and blah, blah, blah. It just doesn't matter. Just some motherfucker is always there to fucking wait till you're exhausted and put your ass down. But here I go. I don't know how much time I got to do this, so here's what I wrote. What's left but pieces of shit? Are we all shitty people? Is it our surroundings, our environment that turned us the way we our surrounding and environment that turned us this way? Or were we always cold and brutal at heart? Couldn't be right. Everyone wants to be good naturally, right? Or do they? Do we enjoy watching others suffer as days go on? I truly wonder, like Jesus. I've been through so much dumb shit I can't stop wondering it. Like, for instance, how domino effect things are. Like the meme or gif that goes, the president gets bitched at by the aliens. In return, he bitches at his secretary. The secretary bitches at the working man. The working man bitches at his wife. And the wife bitches at the kids. And then the kids bitch and yell at the cat or dog. No, I made that one up, but it goes something down the lines of that in terms of abuse. And it's like, the more you see this shit for what it truly is, you wonder, life is exactly like that. And I guess in my case, 100% like that. I see that pattern all the time. I've noticed in my schools, when I was being bullied, I always thought to myself, I bet either this guy's got some roid rage alcoholic father that screams at him, or worse, because why else would anyone be like that way to people if it wasn't happening to them in the first? Reminds me of Adolf Hitler or H.P. Lovecraft or just shit like that, The power of peer pressure is too noticeable and is such a sad thing to fall victim to. Reminds me of the roid rage shit. Everyone has to be this macho man and overpower someone. It's kind of sad. Here's an instance. I was never proud of it, but it was true. I remember when I went to elementary school called Carlton Palmore, there was a girl, named Kaylin Fair, or Fear. I think it was Fair, but anyhow, this girl would live close to me during my time of 3rd or 4th grade. I think it was 3rd grade, but get this shit. We had to walk straight up 4 or some shit. It was 4 miles or some shit. I think it was more. It was long as fuck, but it wasn't unnatural in Florida because they had sidewalks, too. But still, long-ass walks wherever you lived. And most of the neighborhoods or apartments may have been tucked away from each other, but usually were really close. But anyways, she lived close to me on the walk to school. I'd see her and we'd all gather up and walk together. I mean, at the time, she didn't say much, but she'd always say hi to me and talk to me and smile at me, right? Just 2 kids, and my older sister would walk with us too. I'm glad she didn't try to embarrass me like we do to each other, because probably she didn't have to. As you see, I said probably because she didn't have to. As you see, I about did it to myself. Yeah, here we go. We were enjoying our time and our walk to school, which, because we're white people and everyone that, I'm not racist, but I'm just saying, we were white and just some white folk walking to the blackest school you've ever seen. But in my mind, I know everyone is just dreading it, because I know my fake ass friend Diego is going to be the first to bother me every morning when I walk into this absolute shithole. Mind you, I didn't tell you that this place had 2nd graders that were 18. I don't know how they allowed it, but guess shit's just that bad. They were just there to get free meals and stay away from trouble. That's how bad it was, I swear. But of course, the guy Diego, he just picked on me every day. The shit, if you have been bullied, punch you in the arm in front of everyone or push you on the floor. Oh my God, reminds me of when I got older. They got even more creative with it, and I learned what a rhino hump or a tabletop was. This shit is sad as fuck. People just rape and fucking bully and shit, and it's and then they get creative with it. I remember middle school, that's when I learned what that shit was, and I'm like, damn, everyone's so fucking lawless and a dick. But anyway, people do this shit, let alone they do it to their own kids. But I'm getting off this stupid subject. And Diego, one of the days, of course, he sits next to me at lunch one time, and I'm like, fuck it, just makes it miserable if it's your only time of peace. And you'd think, right? So I'm like with my little lunchbox or whatever, and I'm chilling, and bro's giving me shit in front of everyone, just stupid shit, trying to embarrass me. And it's working, right? He's doing it right in front of Caitlin, and she's looking at me, I'm getting embarrassed, and in my head, I'm kind of just snap, like, all right, bet. So I don't want to look like a bitch anymore in front of everyone. So I tell him, like, tomorrow, I'm going to bring a knife to school and ask Caitlin to give me one of those cosmic brownies. What a mistake that turned out to be, but maybe not totally, because everyone didn't think I was a pussy afterwards. After I did it, and I said I don't condone bullying, but it's funny because when you stand up for yourself, people stop treating you like a doormat or a pussy or a coward or whatever the world tries to make up and say that you are, because in reality, that's what they are. But continuing on, the next day, I tell that ugly Mexican fuck, again, not racist, but that's just how I felt about him. He was a native ethnicity, and he was bigger than me, so, reading this reminds me how I found comfort in shit like the internet and dark comedy, like Newgrounds and shit, but whatever. I wake up the next day, and I grab my mom's box cutter, just chilling on one of the boxes, because she was a baby doll maker for a while, so we had boxes everywhere at the time, but that was a good time. I might share later, but I don't know. I grab the knife and I put it in my backpack, and I walk out the house on the way to school. There's Caitlin again, smiling at me and happy as always. I always like that about girls, how they're always so happy no matter what, whether they're hiding it or not. It's like nothing ever affects women like like it does men, no matter what it is, unless they're getting harmed, of course. But if it's just like words and shit, they don't even get annoyed. I don't know, they're a different animal for sure. But we're walking in, and in my head, I'm really about to do this. And why has it gotten this bad to where I feel I need to do this, Like, God, I hate assholes, but I know I'm about to do won't be forgiven, I can't threaten people. You can't just threaten people, right? Yeah, right? Holy shit. But we get to school, and before school starts, they'd have us sit in lines crisscross applesauce, because there's just too many fucking people in this outdoor pavilion that I think that they did it for safety. But anyhow, I'm nervous as fuck, and I tell my best friend at the time, Andrew Smith, like, man, and he's smaller than I am, mind you, and he always, I have this knife in my backpack. I didn't mention anything to him about Caitlin, though, because dickhead Diego. But as soon as I tell him, bro's just like, what? And I'm like, I swear. And I showed him, and he's just got these big eyes staring at me, and he's like, why? And I'm like, I don't know, but I kind of gave him a tough shoulder shrug and a smile, but he's like, I gotta tell somebody, man. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think he'd do that, because he was more smaller than me. And get this, he had his brother that was a bully dick to him too, and it just never ends. We had like these little hall monitor people in our school, because it was like so many people, like I said, that more than my hometown's high school. Like, the world's retarded, guys. There was probably like 20 to everyone in my high school, this elementary school. But he tells on me, like, bet I'm fucked. And the monitor gets a teacher, and I'm immediately going to the principal's office, and we have to stand. And I'm like, why we have stand, and I'm like, why? And there's, like, why? I just start crying like a baby, and I'm like, okay, fine. So I go, and everyone's watching me sob, because now I'm scared, like, how much trouble am I going to get in? And we get to the office, and time's just like aging on, and our principal, I forgot her name, but she was a nice lady, and she's like, why'd you do this? And I'm like, I did it because I wanted to look tough in front of Diego, because this motherfucker picks on us every day, and nobody does shit. It's just like everything. Eventually, I didn't get into trouble because I told her I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't even going to show Caitlin. I was just going to show him and ask her for the brownie. So she think that I was tough. So they all think that I'm tough. Because that's how clown you got to be in this life, guys. If you want to win something, you got to kill yourself first. But nothing happens. In fact, I think Diego now got in trouble and watched like a hawk because of what I did actually came to light. What an asshole he is. So, guys, I'm actually proud of that moment in my life. Like, yeah, well, Caitlin, when she heard the news, she no longer smiled at me and didn't come near me anymore. But, I didn't stand a chance with her anyway. And but at least my bully fucked off. So I thought, right, haha. We had a yard sale one time, and he pulls up in his Hummer and just starts stealing shit and leaves, and my mom's like, what the fuck, you know? But that's another thing, like, how all these assholes like that have money, you wonder. Well, it's from stealing and taking advantage of the ones in fear and barely getting by in life, guys. That's always how it works in this hell planet. And when you die, if there's anything left of you they can harvest, they'll do that too. But moral of the story is you should always stand up for yourself, because these bitch-made motherfuckers should never make you feel like you're less by putting you down physically, psychologically, financially, whatever it is. Fuck being oppressed. How the saying goes in the world, it ain't all sunshine rainbows. You just got to be willing to take the hit. And you know, I hate to be an asshole, but you can look these people up now and their fucking lives are so shit. Like, they have kids and shit, and like, I can't imagine how they must treat their kids because the way they were treated. And it's just like, the cycle never fucking ends. You look at these fucking people and you're just in shock and awe. Like, goddamn, like, when's it ever gonna stop, you know? Like, I just can't fucking believe it. And like, you can look these people up on the internet and like, how fucking, you know, how funny, like, the shit never changes, and like, everyone just fucking repeats the cycle and shit for a helpless another person. Like, if cholesterol was charisma, then he would win, that's for sure. But I don't think that's absolutely true, unless you're in America. I don't know anymore. And another thing, I think it's just funny how, like, Caitlyn liked me, and I think he was just jealous that she liked me and not him, because no one likes bullies.